Okay, so I am back from my trip to London and Amsterdam. And of course, while I was over there, went to Harrods. And basically, how my visit went was like this. Got there, and I went straight to the fragrance department on the ground level floor, which is basically all of their men's and women's fragrances. And the fragrance I was looking for was Midnight in Paris from Von Cleef and Arpels. So found it. It has an eau de toilette and an eau de parfum. So of course I spray on the eau de parfum and wanted to get that on me right away so it could start drying down and going through its changes, and I could see whether or not I wanted it. And so walked around the that fragrance area a little bit just to see what they had, and then went up to the fifth floor to where the perfume diaries were, which is the fragrance exhibit that Harrods has been doing for the last couple of weeks. So, really great guy there at the door to greet you, and he gives you a program which looks like this, and it says Perfume Diaries at Harrods. So, and basically, this has information on the houses that are represented at in the exhibit, and he gives you a couple of samples as well. Extremely nice guy, very very nice, and they did let me take pictures and video, and I did. So I'll do what I'm going to do is do like a montage of the video that I took that'll follow this one, so it'll be separate, and I'm just going to piece it together. So um, looked around there, and it was very overwhelming. There was a lot to see. There's just a lot to see. Honestly, I hope somebody went in there with a camera like from the Discovery Channel and and did something on it, because they could easily do an hour show on this exhibit and the person that put it together and everything in it. So it was just a lot to see. I mean, you would have to see it. And I tried to get video of some unique bottles. They had like a Dior dress in there, one of his earlier dresses, to complement, the fragrances. There was a Halston dress, there were Ferragamo shoes, something with a really big designer. It had a piece of theirs to, on exhibit to see with it. Tom Ford had a suit. There were Hermes umbrellas, Hermes scarves. So it was impressive. It was very well done. There was security walking around. Everything was, behind plastic or behind glass, but nonetheless, they still had security in the area. And so, gave it the once over, and took, the best video that I could, considering the lighting and having, an iPhone camera. And then I talked to the guy a little bit more at the end, and he was like, "Well, have you been up to the perfumery on the fifth floor?" I'm like, no. So he's like, "Well, you need to go up there and take a look." So go up to the fifth floor to try and find the perfumery. I had to ask for directions because it's hidden. I mean, it is tucked away. So finally found it, and right at the entrance to the perfumery are Clive Christian fragrances. So I walk in there, and there was a guy who was working with a couple, showing them Clive Christian, and he acknowledged me when I walked in, and I just started looking around, and it blew me away what this place looked like. It was just stunning. There were fragrances in there I'd never seen before and never heard of before, and beautiful glass and gold gilded, like decanting jars for them to make samples of certain fragrances with uh, crystal chandelier. I think the carpet was black and the walls may have been black too. It was very dark in there, so all the fragrances in the boxes popped. And there was a sitting area with a table to where you could go and sit down with the person that was working with you and smell fragrances. And it was unbelievable. I mean, I just have never seen anything like this before. I didn't take any video. I was afraid to ask. I didn't think I could, and I wasn't gonna, look. I felt like I would have looked dumb in there trying to take video with this while there are people in there shopping, and there were probably 6 or 8 people in this little fragrance area looking at fragrances. And I mean, it was impressive. I kind of felt like it was an invitation only type place, because it felt that way to me. It wasn't, if you were told about it and you could find it, you're good luck. And I was just looking around, and the next thing I know, I'm the only one in there. Everybody has left. The sales guy and anybody else that was in there. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't get a chance to talk to the guy that was working there, and I'm sure that he is extremely knowledgeable. And if he were to ever start doing fragrance reviews, he would school every one of us reviewers. I am sure that his knowledge is impressive, and he wouldn't be doing any Ralph Lauren Big Pony reviews either. He'd be way beyond that. And, I'm just walked around, and after leaving there, well, I went back down to the ground level floor because I was going to get the Midnight in Paris. And they didn't have any of the eau de parfum. It was sold out. So, of course, Harrods, having a higher class client, was going to have sold out of the eau de parfum. And I didn't want the eau de toilette. So, and it turns out that it's exclusive to Harrods in London, so nobody else was going to have it. And I looked at the, in duty free as well, and all they had was the eau de toilette. So, nonetheless, Neiman Marcus does have it, so I got it from Neiman's. That day, I tell you, that day at Harrods, between the fragrance department and the fragrance exhibit and the perfumery on the 5th floor, I felt like I knew nothing about fragrance. The guy that was working the perfumery, I'm just thinking, that's where I would like to be. That's the place I would like to be. And I can't imagine what I could learn from him. And even the other guy that was in the fragrance exhibit. And I was like, thinking to myself, I know nothing, about so many fragrances. And it really affected me. I had a hard time going to sleep that night. And all I could think about was, wow, I get to go back to Denver and sell boring fragrances for the most part. And I was just like, and Denver will never have a perfumery like Harrods. We'd be lucky if we got a scent bar. And Denver will probably never see a Barney's. So the options are limited in Denver. You've got Neiman's and Saks, which, aren't bad, but now is not really the economy to be working there selling fragrances in Denver. Other cities may be doing better, but, the 2 Cherry Creek stores are not. So, it gave me a lot to think about, and, it makes me want to be even more selective about the fragrances I'm going to review in the future, and it won't be as many. So, basically, like I said, I'm going to just do a montage of the video that I took at Harrods, and, it's a little window into that world, but without being there and seeing it, which it ends October 2nd, so yeah, you better hurry. You would have to see it to take it all in. And anyhow, so my next review will be Midnight in Paris, so it's excellent. I love it, love it, love it. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.